James Gunn has decided that his Batman stories in the DCU will be missing one key factor that had been a trend in some of its predecessors. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. However, when it comes to characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, the DC Universe can be forgiven for foregoing their origin stories altogether, given that they are so well known as characters that retreading them would essentially be an extended exercise in maid and butler dialogue. This is something that James Gunn, too, believes, given that he has decided to not go ahead with Batman's origin story as a film in the DCU. There are some things that are going to set the DCU apart from the MCU that fans are pretty familiar with. To begin with, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was dealing with B-tier characters when it was forming the Avengers, and so it was important to show the origin stories of Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. Even Christopher Nolan, with his Batman trilogy, decided to retread the origin story of the Bat of Gotham, which might not have been necessary, but it was still a great movie nonetheless. However, Gunn, like Reeves, seems to have a different idea about what the Batman film for the DCU needs to be. While there are a lot of members of the Justice League that might not need an origin story, like Superman, Batman, The Flash, and Wonder Woman, it would not hurt audiences if characters like Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, Shazam, Black Canary, and Green Arrow have their origins explored. When James Gunn first announced Brave and the Bold, it was made clear to the audience that Batman's Robin would be Damian Wayne, which would mean that Batman's first film in the DCU would be far from an origin story. Having Damian Wayne as his Robin would require a lot of Batman's mythology to be in place, such as the League of Assassins and the slew of Robins that Bruce had before Damian. James Gunn's DCU, as is the case with Superman, will probably forego origin stories for popular characters, which would allow the studio to give the universe the Star Wars-esque vibe that it is going for, distinguishing it from the MCU further. These characters are familiar to the audience but deserve a live-action treatment that really takes the time to delve into their stories. Characters like Booster Gold would also merit a look into their origins, given that it allows their fans to enjoy their stories in a way that has not been done yet. Donald Trump's tariff increase could kill James Gunn's plans for the DCU, including his upcoming film Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Donald Trump comes for the movie industry this time, announcing a 100% tariff on movies being produced outside of the United States. In his announcement via Truth Social, President Trump shared that his new move intends to save the dying movie industry in the U.S. James Gunn's DCU is going to face major trouble after Donald Trump announced a 100% tariff for movies produced outside of the United States. Trump's tariff is intended to save the movie industry in America. But movie studios won't be happy with the new announcement, as some of the major productions are currently operating outside of the U.S. While Gunn's Superman production primarily took place at Trilla Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, the DCU is planning to move to the UK for its upcoming films. For instance, the next film in the DCU roster, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, is currently in production at the Warner Brothers studio Leavesden in Hertfordshire. Trump's new tariff policies, though unclear on many aspects, are already posing a major concern for movie studios. All the big studios producing movies have branches outside of the United States. Due to the exorbitant movie-making costs in the country, most of them prefer to take their production outside the country. Warner Brothers Studios will also be impacted by the new tariff policies, with the studio helming some major projects, including James Gunn's DCU films. While his current Superman film is being produced in America, the studio was planning to shift its entire production to the UK in the next couple of years. He even went on to claim that the movies being produced outside the country is a threat to national security. He ordered the Department of Commerce and the U.S. Trade Representative to impose a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. He added, "We want movies made in America, again." Supergirl will be the first film in the DCU roster to be directly affected if Trump were to continue his tariffs. Gunn earlier announced the news of cameras rolling for the film at Warner Brothers Studios Leavesden. The studio in Hertfordshire was set to be the home of not just Supergirl, but also some of the other films in the DCU. Donald Trump might have gotten it all wrong about saving the movie industry. The primary reason for the film studios to produce films outside of the country is the tax incentives and reduced cost in countries like the UK, which the US fails to provide. An added tariff will only be another huge monetary pressure on the studios. Supergirl will star House of the Dragon star Millie Alcock in the lead role, alongside Jason Momoa as Lobo and Matthias Schoenaerts as Krem of the Yellow Hills. Craig Gillespie is directing the film, which is set to be released in June 2026. Notably, the Leaves' Den studio was also home to Warner Bros.' biggest hit of 2023, Barbie. Another major project currently set to be held at the studio is the Harry Potter series. We will have to see if Supergirl will have to leave the UK to save itself from the 100% tariffs. There's the possibility that Trump will revisit his decision in a couple of weeks. My Hero Academia. Vigilantes Knuckledusters' brutal heroism channels DC's Midnighters' fierce energy and gritty vigilante vibes. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. So, Knuckleduster, Iwao Aguro, this man is a legend. He has no quirk, just a pair of brass knuckles, oozing that badass aura. Pretty cool how he feels like Batman, mentoring Koichi. He patrols at night, but he is not with stellar gadgets or rules against killing someone. My Hero Academia. Vigilantes has those different vibes that just hit you differently. It has a raw feel, and there's a character who steals the show, Knuckleduster. He has no quirk, just pure grit, and beats up villains like it's personal. His character carries that Batman aura, like he is on the streets eradicating crime, but much more savage. But to be more specific, Knuckleduster kinda reminds me of Midnighter, who is often seen as the gay Batman. He is a true badass hero from DC, who takes no prisoners. Even though Knuckleduster and Midnighter are from different universes, they share some similarities, like they're powerful characters that excel in close-quarters combat. In contrast to Batman's methodical fighting style, you can see their enjoyment in combat and chaos. If anything, I would say Knuckleduster leans into knockout since Gotham's Dark Knight would never cross so many lines. While Knuckleduster is just brawling, literally smashing up villains, he has an aggressive energy that is reckless and kinda scary. His character kinda has those major Midnighter vibes. Just like that badass hero from DC, Knuckleduster can also predict your moves and still knock your teeth in. Knuckleduster's fights are so raw in Vigilantes. I'm still baffled how people online fanboy his mentor-student vibes. In my opinion, Knuckleduster has got that Midnighter's unapologetic, get-it-done attitude and all that of anti-hero coolness. So, you can see how he kind of works like Knuckleduster from My Hero Academia, Vigilantes. Both are in-the-ring brawlers who just love the fight and action. No stopping or hesitation, both want results with pure functional efficiency. I have to say, James Gunn's hype around the Authority in the DCU, with Midnighter and Apollo as an openly gay couple kicking *S is next-level hype. Midnighter is a kinda Batman-inspired figure who likes fights and action. Gunn gets the Authority right. I can easily imagine all those scenes of Midnighter's confidence, fierce spirit that I can also see in Knuckleduster. Knuckleduster punches